Five Nights at Freddy's and WWE are coming to Halloween Horror Nights. But we're here to explore some stuff. Hello everybody and welcome back. It is Michael from Palette Thrills back with another video, and yeah, we are literally a week out from the last time that we were here, and that's because we already have another announcement. And basically at this point it is our last announcements of the announcement season, which means we are at this point less than a month away. Actually, it'll be a month starting this Thursday. Until opening night, but we have two announcements to talk about today. Before we get into anything though, please make sure you subscribe and have the bell notifications turned on to get notified whenever I post a video, and also make sure you're following both Instagram and X. The links are down in the description below. But we have merch, we have announcements, and we have some more construction. Three things to check out today, so let's head in. So like I said, we were literally here just a week ago, so not a whole bunch to really talk about as far as the construction scene goes. There is some big things that we can talk about, but the big thing we're going to be referencing today is our announcement. So I'm going to be taking a step off into the shade real quick so we can talk about the two announcements that we got today for Halloween Horror Nights. Okay, so we found our little plot of shade here, so let's talk about these two announcements. These were both announcements that we knew were coming, but at this point we didn't really know the full details of them, and we still really don't know the full details regarding one of them. But the two announcements that we got today were obviously Five Nights at Freddy's and WWE, and we're going to be talking about them in a little bit more detail, but I'm going to show you guys the little trailers that we got for each of them, and then I will break down each of them individually.
To watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring Five Nights at Freddy's and more.
In solitude.
Live the horror you love to watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights. WWE presents The Horrors of the Wyatt Sicks.
So there's some pretty cool trailers. I will say it's a bit copy and paste at this point for all of them, but I do like the little Easter eggs that are in each of them. But let's talk about Five Nights at Freddy's first. Guests will fight to survive as they venture through an all-new haunted house inspired by the 2023 hit film Five Nights at Freddy's, Blumhouse's highest-grossing movie to date and an adaptation of the horror video game phenomenon. Guests will follow in the footsteps of Mike, who was recently fired and desperate for work so that he can keep custody of his little sister, after he agrees to accept a position as the night security guard in an abandoned-themed entertainment center, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. The terror will start as guests navigate the corridors and learn that nothing at Freddy's is what it seems when they encounter the supernatural and become lured into the black heart of an unspeakable nightmare. The journey will bring guests face to face with full-scale replicas of the eerie characters from the film: Freddy Fazbear, Chica, Bonnie, Foxy, and Mr. Cupcake, as they stalk visitors through iconic scenes including the security room and the showroom where the chilling characters performed. The larger-than-life characters for the haunted houses were created in collaboration with Jim Henson's Creature Shop, who also masterfully produced the animatronics and corresponding costumes for the fan favorite film. So, ton of info to go off of there, but not a lot regarding what we will see outside of the actual house itself. I know there were a lot of speculation regarding it being a part of the arcade as well, at the Palace Arcade, but as of right now, there's not a lot of details regarding that. We just know as of right now, Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be a house this year at this year's event, and I am super stoked for that. We all knew it was coming, but now we finally have confirmation, so that is super awesome. But let's talk about our second announcement that we got today. So our second announcement that we got was WWE presents Horrors of the Wyatt Sicks. Guests will be immersed in the world of WWE in the bi-coastal haunted houses WWE presents The Horrors of the Wyatt Sicks, where they will go head-to-head with Uncle Howdy in an experience that not only features the Wyatt Sicks, but honors the legacy of Bray Wyatt. The group derives from the creative mind of Bray Wyatt and was resurrected in 2024 by his brother Bo Dallas, also known as Uncle Howdy, the fearless leader of the Wyatt Sicks. The chilling crew of five has quickly emerged as one of the most disturbing and disruptive groups in WWE history, with its ominous presence and portrayal of dark and twisted characters, all of which will come to life at Halloween Horror Nights this fall. Horror fans brave enough to travel through the light of the lantern will find themselves transported into the maniacal minds of the Wyatt Sicks, where each member reigns supreme with their own horrific domains. There, Uncle Howdy, together with Ramblin' Rabbit, Mercy the Buzzard, Abby the Witch, and Huskus the Pig, will be waiting to take bloody retribution on a world that has abandoned them. Along the way, guests will be stalked by the eerie presence of the Fiend, Bray's sadistic alter ego, which looms within the shadows and beckons them to let him in. Yes, I am over the moon excited for this house. I mean, WWE has been a huge part of my life. It has recently rejoined my life as of 2020 and 2021. Super big into the shows growing up, and Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt Sicks were one of the coolest things coming from WWE within the last couple years. The storylines that they have with this, as well as the characters, it is really something special, and I cannot wait to see what they do with this house. For me, it's possibly going to be one of my favorite houses this year, but I will say I have I'm a bit on the fence with it as whether or not I think it'll be a good house and whether or not I think everyone else will enjoy it. I think this one's more for the fans than anything, but like I said, I'm excited to see what they do with this. But like I said, that is it as far as our announcements go today. Now, they did announce the rides that are going to be at the event this year, which I'll talk about those briefly real quick. We have the Mummy, Transformers, we have Gringotts Bank, and then obviously Men in Black Alien Attack. And then, of course, the Death Eaters were also announced today to be returning. So those are kind of secondary announcements to the main two announcements that we got today of Wyatt Sicks and of Five Nights at Freddy's. But with all that out of the way, let's take a look at that merchandise that we got for today's announcement, and then we'll take a quick trip around the park. So there was some stuff at the front gate that we'll take a look at after we're done here, but walking into Hollywood, these are different than the last time we were here. We have some big old gates that have now been installed where those just the pillars were. So I really like the theming that they're already putting into the zone. Pretty cool vibe so far. But they have added a little bit more to the stage, but no chandelier just yet. But they added the little checkerboard texture as well as like these stands or candle holders. I'm not exactly sure what they're supposed to be, but definitely added to each individual stage all down the way here. But like I said, that's kind of really all we got in the zone was those gates and the additions added to each of these stages. And there is one half of a gate all the way down at the end of the street here as well. But let's take a right turn into the Five and Dime to check out today's merchandise. Here we go, merchandise reveal, Five Nights at Freddy's, and then on the other side of the board we have, there he is, the Fiend himself for the WWE Wyatt Sicks House. And on the inside we have our little poster for Five Nights at Freddy's, our pieces for our frame. So this one is Freddy Fazbear, obviously, and then the Bray Wyatt one will be on the other side. But here is our finished frame. It's beautiful, isn't it? So those are our last two pieces that we're gonna grab today so we can finish our own frame. And here is our t-shirt for Five Nights at Freddy's. So it's that logo that was on the outside of the store here. I like how the television screens have like the actual screens from the game. Dropped it. Let me see if I can catch it. Oh, saved it. So yeah, each of the screens has it. That's kind of cool. Nothing on the sleeves. And then that's just says Horror Nights 2025 on the back. That's a weird choice. I would have preferred just not having that at all, or have that as a back design. Kind of weird. But let's see, $33 for this. Not too bad, but it's a little bit more expensive than everything else that we've had. And here is the Wyatt Sicks merch. So we got the Wyatt Sicks logo on the front with the WWE logo, and then on the back it has that same Fiend logo. And unfortunately, it looks like all we have is smalls right now, which is wild because this just came out today. And we are also all out of Fiend pieces already, which is wild. So looks like we're only getting Five Nights at Freddy's today. But we also have a hat for Five Nights at Freddy's, which I might pick up. Not too bad, but price on this one is $30. Hey, that's a shame that we literally already ran out of the piece and anything other than a small. Wow, it got dark fast. It is going to pour very quickly, so we got to do this quick. But we were told that they are getting some more of the t-shirts, but they are completely out of the little pieces as of right now. So we're gonna try to do a quick lap around, then get back in there, and hopefully they have the t-shirts in. But there's a couple more things that we can show off. One in particular is over in Central Park, so that's the big thing, is we're gonna check out Central Park. All right, so here in Battery Park, right before we get to Central Park, we have the red truss instead of the yellow that it was, and the TV holders now actually have TVs, I think, or they're covered. No, they're currently covered. Yeah, so not a lot of changes over here in Battery Park other than those two things, but I assume that at this point that means that the TVs have been added, and both of them are just covered up for now for the rain. Ooh, we finally have something going on over here at Cafe La Bamba. I don't know if this is related to Horror Nights, but we finally have some stuff going on over here. But here is the main attraction. Oh yeah, it happened. It happened, baby. We have pumpkins in the trees, and they are lit up. Well, they are going to be lit up. You can see there's electrical wires heading to them. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm excited. But we have a ton of theming now along the fences. We have bikes, we have little props and stuff. We have barrels that are starting to come out with some like real classic Halloween vibe decorations. Yeah, this is gonna be a really, really fun zone. And the question is, as of right now, are we gonna get more pumpkins, and where is Little Boo hiding? But as far as the little like stands over here, nothing on them just yet. But we have a bike of a trick-or-treater with a mask on it. There's some cats and some more kind of classic Halloween vibe. I love this little cat here. But let's continue further down the street to check out some more stuff. Ooh, we have some more decorations here that are cutting off Central Park. So that's a great use of some props here to block off the area for the Lagoon Show. So you can't actually get through here to get into Lagoon Show. You have to go through one of the entrances on either side. But some props here. Not really sure what all of the yarn is for, but very interesting. But continuing on, we got some more bikes with some candy, maybe some Major Sweets candy. Who knows? Maybe get a tie in there. But some more pumpkins up in the trees. Still haven't been able to find Little Boo yet, though. More bikes over there. Another bike just kind of chilling over there. Nothing on this stand either. More barrels. More bikes. More barrels over there, more bikes over there, just literally just theming being added all over the place. But what is really interesting is, remember those pads that I was talking about? Well, guess what? They poured concrete for those. I have no idea what kind of set piece is going to need to go in here that required them to pour a concrete pad, but it's going to be something massive. And that's basically how it is for all of those sections that were like tarped off. There are now concrete pads there. And there's one over here as well. Yeah. Ton of stuff. But let's continue on. Have they added anything to the house yet? Or at least that's what we're thinking it is, the house. It does not appear so. And I also just noticed an extra tree here. Interesting. But anything into this yet either? No, just the same stuff. I don't think they've added anything more to this. But yeah, ton of stuff has gone in. And actually, just noticed this, the back half of these trees. So we're only about halfway through the trees with the pumpkins. So we have tons more pumpkins coming in. So I'm sure Lil Boo has not quite been added yet. Time for another check-in on the tables in front of animal actors. And they're officially gone, everybody. So that means they are going to start putting out the stuff over here probably within the next week or two. Now that those tables have officially cleared out, you'll start seeing bar stuff get set up, air fryers probably, everything for the bar and food booth that's going to go under here. But moving on from here, though, we're going to head through Simpsons, and fingers crossed, they have some lights going up in there. Still no lights. This is the last thing on my list that we needed to get for this year. We've gotten everything else so far that I know of that was on my checklist of things that I've been complaining about over the last 5 years. No lights in here means that we still aren't getting chainsaw people here in Springfield, so maybe there's always next year. Well, big construction project number 1 is moving right along. They're starting to put some more boards down. Will this be done in time? Who knows, but it's, in case you didn't hear that, it's gonna rain, so we gotta hurry up here before it rains on our parade. There wasn't any updates to the facades that I could see for the sprung tents back there for dolls and hatchet and chains. And as you can see behind me, nothing for Nightmare Fuel just yet. So we're gonna keep on keeping on. Although they did block off the section back there, so now you can't even go any further past there. So who knows? But we're gonna keep on keeping on towards San Francisco. Nothing new over here in San Francisco. Maybe those lights on those poles, but I don't believe so. And actually, you know what? I just noticed this. There was a truss across there that had some like wiring going up to the top of that building, and that truss is actually gone now. So I don't know what happened there, but that is no longer gonna be a part of this Scarezone, at least for the time being. Not a whole lot has been added here in New York either. The only thing that I can see is a little lighting truss over here on the left over towards Sting Alley. But I don't know if this is going to be part of this Scarezone for like lighting, or if this is going to be for Sting Alley. Who knows, but I anticipate that we're going to have more food down Sting Alley again this year. No update to the Palace Theater since last week, at least exterior-wise. But still rumors out on what it could possibly be. It's either the tribute store or some sort of Freddy Fazbear / 5 Nights at Freddy's experience. Well, we were so close, but we did not make it. It's starting to pour. But as you can see, the walls are down for Grimacy Park. I can't exactly remember how to pronounce it, but the walls are down. It looks like they just did a bunch of landscaping work, which I didn't expect them to really do much else other than that. So it's nice to see that they redid some landscaping there, and it looks really nice for the Horror Nights season. And thankfully is done before Horror Nights begins. But we have really only 2 spots left to check, and that's the bar over there by the Transformer extended queue, and then that front Scarezone at the very beginning between Minions Alley. All right, we made it over, and nothing else has happened here. I think they may have added lights onto this side, but nothing as far as over here. Now I am concerned though, because they just announced today that Transformers will be open for Horror Nights this year. So does this mean we will not have this bar? Because they need the extended queue of Transformers? I doubt it, just because Transformers isn't an extremely popular attraction, but it is something to think about that we could be losing this bar here this year. Ladies and gentlemen, it's happening. Yeah, there's Horror Nights props down here in Minions Alley. Oh yeah, and I would assume that this is going to be one of the platforms for our stone carved statues for the IPs, and we have some down on the other end as well that we can check out, but I'm going to try to keep out of the rain as much as I can. There is another platform, although that one looks more like that's going to be for scare actors than for the stone carved statues, but there's a platform there. So there is still more stuff to be put out further here down Minions Alley. Well, I made a little bit further, just enough to see our last little bit of updates for the front scare zone. Another one of these stages was put up over here in front of the studio store, but that is it for this front scare zone so far, and we still are expecting our big truss in the middle. So maybe it'll be a little bit more forward this time, just because that little stage is there. Who knows? But that's basically everything else we have here so far as updates since the last time that we were here. But I'm gonna head back to the 5 and Dime to see if they have any more of the Fiend puzzle pieces, as they were out when we were there originally. But maybe they have them since we've been walking around. Who knows? I'll go check it on them for you. Well, because of the rain, we had to wait until we got all the way back to the car to close out the video, but they didn't have any more of the frame pieces. Checked back in before we left the park. Unfortunately, looks like we're gonna have to hopefully come back another day and see if they have a restock on them. It's a bit of a shame that they didn't have enough stock for the drop today, which is weird because it came out today. But what are you gonna do? But if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure you drop a like and also comment down below what are your opinions on the Wyatt Sicks House. I'd like to know, because a lot of people, it seems like a mixed bag. Personally, I'm excited for it, but I'd like to know your opinions down in the comments below. But as always, I'm Michael from HHN, giving you the all clear, and all clear means you are out of here. See you guys next time.